Om Shanti, Avyakta Bapdada Madhuban dated 25th January 1970. Title: Methods for Constant Remembrance. The Avyakta stage is the main subject. You have to pass in the subject of remaining Avyakta whilst performing actions in the corporeal world. You have to keep the line of your intellect clear. When the way is clear, you can run quickly and reach your destination. When there is any obstruction in the line of effort, then with the method of making the line clear and removing that obstruction, you are able to reach the Avyakta stage. When you come to Madhuban, each of you must give one or another special virtue. This is the memorial. The other is a non-living memorial. To remind them of your virtues is a living memorial which they remember constantly. Whenever you go anywhere, always have the aim that your memorial should remain there for all time. If you have filled yourself with special love here and then go, love will melt even stone into water. So take with you this gift of spiritual love through which you can attain victory over anything. Do you think there is a lot of time or little time? So, you now have to try to reach 100% in the little time that remains. You have to use all the courage you have. You have to pay so much attention that even 1 second is not wasted. How great is even 1 second of the confluence age? You have to use both your time and your thoughts in a worthwhile way. The task which cannot be accomplished by the big ones can be accomplished by the little ones. Now, that task is still remaining. Up until now, it's fine that you have just been running, but now you will only be able to reach your aim if you take a jump. To transform many things in 1 second means to take a jump. Do you have this much courage? Whatever you have heard, you definitely have to bring that about in your practical life. You have to become like the one you have love for. So, to assimilate all the virtues of Bapdada into the self is the responsibility of love. You have to assimilate into yourself the greatness of the Father. This is love. There should not be a weakness in even one speciality. When you have assimilated into yourself all the virtues, you will then become the deities who are complete with all virtues in the future. Keep the aim of becoming complete with all virtues. By keeping the virtues of the Father in front of yourself, check to what extent you have achieved that. It shouldn't be less by any percentage. There should be the complete percentage. Only then will you be able to come into a close relationship there. Now you must see only the spirit. What did you receive by seeing the body? You only experienced sorrow. Now, if the spirit sees the spirit, it will receive comfort. You are brave, courageous ones, aren't you? What is the sign of brave, courageous ones? They do not find it difficult to overcome anything. They do not take a lot of time either. Their time is not used in removing obstacles, etc. of the self but in service. Such a soul is called a brave, courageous one. You should use your time for service and not for removing your obstacles. Time has now moved ahead a great deal. According to this calculation, all of those things are the things of childhood. Small children are very sensitive, whereas elder children are the courageous ones. So, there should not be any childishness in your effort. You should be courageous, no matter what the circumstances are or what the atmosphere is like. Not to be weak is called being a brave, courageous one. When someone has a physical weakness in the body, he is affected by the weather or the atmosphere, etc. Those who are healthy are not affected. So only those who are sensitive are affected by the atmosphere. The atmosphere is not the creator. It is only the creation. Is the creator greater or the creation? The creator. So, why is the creator being dependent on the creation? So now, remember your day of becoming the brave, courageous ones. Do not forget this awareness. Go from here having become such a portrait in which people see the Father. You have to reveal to yourself the portrait of perfection. If you have courage, you will definitely receive help. Do you now think that having come here, you have developed speed in whatever you were slack in? You must now not be slack in your effort. In order to claim the full right, you have to make the complete sacrifice. How can there be complete success in a sacrificial fire that is created? Only when an offering is sacrificed into it. If there is something lacking in the offering, the sacrificial fire will not be successful. Here also, each of you has to check whether you have put the offering into the fire. If the offering is lacking even slightly, the sacrificial fire will not be completely successful. There is the accurate calculation of receiving as much as you give. Dharamraj is also there keeping the account. He cannot miss out any accounts. This is why whatever you give as an offering, give it completely and receive the return in full. If you do not give something fully, you will not be able to receive anything fully. You can only receive as much as you give. If you know through what you can attain success, and you do not even then use that in a worthwhile way, what will happen? There will be a weakness remaining. So, always pay attention that nothing is still left behind. There should not be anything remaining in your thoughts, words or actions. At the time when it is the last day for any task, you check in all 4 directions to see if anything still remains. In the same way, it is now the time for completion. If there is a weakness remaining, that will continue. Then the sacrifice will not be accepted. It will not then be called the complete offering. Therefore, you have to pay this much attention. The time for having weaknesses has now passed. The time is now going very fast. If the time goes very fast and you remain slow, what will happen? Will you be able to reach your destination? Then, instead of reaching the destination of the golden age, you will reach the silver age. Just as the time is going fast, you have to make yourself run just as fast. In a physical way, when you have to catch a train, you have to check the time. Otherwise, you will be left behind. The time is moving by anyway. Time does not have to wait for anyone. The time for going very slowly has now passed. The days of running have even passed. Now, these are the days for taking a jump. When you feel a weakness in anything, to transform that in 1 second means to take a jump. It may seem very high to take a jump, but it is very easy. You just need faith and courage. Those who had faith attained victory a kalpa ago also. That has already taken place even now. It should be this firm. You have to protect yourself. You have to check your mind, words and actions at every second. It isn't difficult for Bap Dada to see such souls. There is no need to take the physical support of anything in order to see the children. Baba can see them from anywhere. The new ones have greater enthusiasm than the older ones for definitely doing something. There are some such fast, intense students. The new ones can perform wonders because they are able to see the time very clearly. You have cooperation from the time and also the circumstances. Even the circumstances are now showing you what your effort should be. Once the exams have begun, you will not be able to make any effort. Then the final paper will begin. You have reached here before the final paper. Consider it to be your great fortune that you have reached here in good time and that you have been allowed to take the paper. Once an exam has begun, the doors are closed. Those who came in the beginning had to be inspired to have disinterest. But nowadays, the circumstances themselves inspire you to have disinterest. It will not take long for your land to be prepared. You will just sow a strong seed of the faith of knowledge and the fruit will be ready. This is such a seed that it can bear fruit very quickly. Although the seed is very powerful, it is your task to sustain and look after it. Baba is the Almighty Authority, yet the children do not even have the power to stop their thoughts. Baba changes the world, yet the children cannot even change themselves. Just think what Baba is and what you are, and you will be ashamed of yourself. You have to bring about transformation within your activity. People will not understand so much through your words. When they see your transformation, they will themselves ask you, "Who made you like you are?" When someone reveals himself by bringing about transformation, people then ask him even without wanting to, "What happened to you and how did you bring about transformation?" So seeing your activity, they will be drawn to you. These centers are just for the name's sake. There is only one main center for all of you. You have such an unlimited vision, do you not? All of you have a connection with the main center. All souls have a connection and relationship with the main center. When you have a connection with only the one, your stage also remains stable. If the thread of relationship is pulled anywhere else, your stage will not remain stable. So, in order to create a stable stage, even whilst looking at everything, do not see anyone except the one. Nothing of what you see now will remain. The one that will remain with you eternally is only the one Father. There can be all attainments through having the remembrance of one, and there are no attainments through having the remembrance of many. So which bargain is better? Do you make a bargain after having seen something for yourself, or on the basis of what someone tells you? You have also been given the understanding that Maya will show you her face for a little while, in order to take leave from you for all time. Now she will come to take leave, not to defeat you. She comes to take leave. If you become afraid, that will be considered a weakness. Then Maya will attack you through that weakness. You now have power, do you not? You have a relationship with the Almighty Authority, and so what is Maya's power in front of Baba's power? Do not forget the intoxication that you are the children of the Almighty Authority. Maya attacks only when you forget this. You must not become unconscious. Those who are clever always remain conscious. Nowadays, the bandits make people unconscious with something or another, and so Maya does the same. Those who are clever know in advance what their methods are, and they therefore take precautions in advance. They do not lose consciousness. So therefore, always keep the life-giving herb with you. Acha. Om Shanti.